And we are live. Yay. Hey guys. Oh, I just realized that was the way I'm sitting. You can probably see my unmade bed in the background. I couldn't make it yet because my dog's still sleeping. You know what? This was actually the first thing my mother-in-law ever said to me. That was back in Namibia, and my then boyfriend and now ex-husband, we went to visit her. She lives in a small town there. And we walked into her bedroom because this is where she was. She was putting some clothes away. And then she says to me, first thing, I'm sorry the bed isn't made yet because my cats are still sleeping. And back then I thought that was kind of slightly endearing, but also pretty strange because then I only ever had one animal back then, and that was the dog we grew up with as kids, and he was living outside. It was quite a big dog, so I wasn't used at all to the concept of animals sleeping in beds, but this has changed quite a bit since then. So yeah, now you can see my dog sleeping in my bed while I work. All right, well, anyway, welcome to our third live stream of You Unleashed. Third week together, yoo-hoo! And last week, no, for our second week was probably a bit of a tougher week because it was all about what you believe. And we had to do a lot of excavation, a lot of digging, a lot of bringing up beliefs that you hold and that are shaping your life and that are probably shaping your life not in the way you would like it to be shaped. So this is also why it's such important work. Now, when you bring them out, when you become aware of them, and then you change them, and I have given you several different ways how to change them. Once you do that, it is really such a freeing thing to do, and it will change your life pretty effortlessly. Now, once your belief is changed, different things happen to you, for you, because of you. Okay. If you're on here live and you have a question about the topic of last week, if anything came up still, please type it into the comment box and I'm going to answer it. And while I'm waiting, I would like to answer a question I got via email. And this question is, what do I do if I do not believe that I can change my belief? Okay, and for this, I do have a twofold answer. And the first part of the answer, now that is, just have a look. Do you not believe because you are currently feeling down? Because you've tried to achieve something, you tried to do something, it didn't work. You are now a bit depressed and a bit kind of thinking, is it ever going to work? And I can't do this, but it's a temporary thing. It's not the way you view life. It's just because you've been pushing and nothing happened. And now you're a bit sad and without hope. And if this is the reason why you think you cannot change your belief, then please watch or re-watch last week's live stream, because there I've been talking about this. No? It wasn't about around belief. Well, it was around belief in a way. It was about a question somebody had, and she said she cannot allow herself to see her vision. And we also did, for that, we did a visualization live on the live stream last week, and this will also help you with releasing that belief you have that you cannot change beliefs. But this is for you now, if it's a temporary thing. And the other direction I want to go in with that is if it is something that you just do in your life. So just have a look now, be honest, and see if this is a pattern. If you have a pattern of saying, oh my God, no, I can't do this. It's all too much. No, please, somebody come help me. Somebody rescue me. And this is something it's a learned behavior often, and we often learn that in childhood because you encounter situations that are too much for you. You don't know how to handle them, and you find some solution that works. And because it works, you then keep on using that solution. And if this is you, it is really important to acknowledge that pattern. Because as long as you are in victim mode, you do not see who you truly are. And who you truly are is a really powerful creator. So when you are in victim mode, you cannot change your life according to your liking. You won't be able to bring new things in, and you will constantly be dependent on something or somebody on the outside. And this is no fun way to live. So please have a look if this is you. If you have that pattern, the first step always is to acknowledge it. And don't shame yourself for it. Now we can so easily get into this thing of, oh, why am I being so bad? Or why do I think that way? Or how come I'm so weak? And all this kind of stuff. No? Don't go there, don't do this. It was something that served you well at some stage, and now you have outgrown it. And because you've outgrown it, you can let it go. So look at it, acknowledge it, and then decide that you are done with it. And this truly is all it takes. Because if you look at it, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. And you are the master over your thoughts. No? Your thoughts, you can decide, I'm going to think that thought, I'm not going to think that thought. So you can stop thinking that thought, that you don't have the power to change your beliefs. And if you are referring to a specific belief, then you can decide right here, right now, this belief is changed and I am not going to think otherwise anymore. So whenever you catch yourself that you're going down that track or that highway of old thoughts, stop it. No? Stop it right here. Find a good thought or a different thought, something that you can use instead, and then think that. And to give you an example about this from my own life, I, since moving back to Germany about 5 years ago, I had something come up that I wasn't expecting. And this was a belief around me not being able to make money in Germany. And I had that thing, I've been gone for over 20 years. And I realized once I came back that there was a reason why I left, and that I felt like the odd one out before I left. Now, like I don't fit into the society, and people don't get me, and they don't understand me. And so I kind of ran away. And then I came back, and all these old feelings came back up. And the way in which that manifested was that I didn't make any money anymore, which was really kind of strange because I made a lot of money while living in Namibia. And the moment I got here, it stopped. The flow stopped. And basically I stopped it because of the beliefs I had. And I tried to change that belief in so many different ways. I really threw at it whatever I could think of, reading Welsh consciousness books and listening and taking courses and doing kinesiology and all kind of things. And they all helped, I'm sure. And please, when you have a belief that really is something you would like to shift, try anything. Doesn't matter. No? It doesn't matter how strange it is. If you feel kind of called to do it, then try it. It will help in some ways. No? And so I tried a lot of things, and it did not shift, and it did not shift, and it did not shift. And I was also getting to this stage where I became discouraged and where I thought I'm never going to be able to shift this. And this is where I thought, no. And I decided, I made a clear decision. This is it. I will not think this thought any longer. And what is really funny, or maybe not funny, but the main reason I'm telling you this story is of what happened next. The moment I decided that, and the moment I followed through and I stopped myself from thinking that thought, from worrying about money, from thinking where's the next money going to come from, and how am I going to pay my rent, and how much must I sell of this, and all these kind of things that go with that belief that I can't make money here in Germany. The moment I stopped thinking these thoughts, I got so afraid. And it was like my worrying, through worrying, I kind of kept it at bay and I kept myself safe. And the moment I stopped worrying, I thought I lost control. That's what it felt like. Now it was like, okay, if I don't look at it and if I don't think about it, it's going to sneak up and it's going to kind of eat me, grab me. That thing, that not being able to make money, which is really kind of not very intelligent because I wasn't making any money anyway. So what could have possibly happened? But anyway, this was what happened to me, and I just want to tell you about it so you are prepared if it happens for you too. So the moment you let go of that control, fear might come up. And when I looked at that, and when I looked at what I know about how you manifest and how you create and how you call in a life you truly love, you do that by thinking thoughts that are in alignment with this life, and not by thinking thoughts that go against it. Now, the moment you think thoughts that go against it, you send out that frequency, that vibration, and like thoughts and like things are being drawn back to you. So it didn't make any sense from what I knew on a logical level. And I just pushed through the fear. And every time I began a thought of worry about money, I stopped myself and I just said, money comes to me easily and joyfully. It's flowing to me. I'm a money magnet. Money loves me. Something around these lines. No? And it didn't take that long. It took maybe a month of that or so when I realized that things actually had started to turn around. And it was slow at first. No? It was a bit of a trickle. Then I kept at it. And then it became more and more and more and more. And now this belief is gone out of my reality. So this is what you do to change the belief that you cannot change your beliefs. You decide and you just do it, and you realize you are the master of your thoughts. You are not their slave. You're nobody's slave. You're not a victim. So step up, girl. Yay. All right. Let's have a look if there were any comments coming in the meantime. Let's see. No questions. All right, then let's get into the topic for this week, into the week 3 topic. And week 3 is all about coming from the person you want to be. So you come from being this person already now, and then we will practice to think that way and feel that way and speak that way and act that way. And the different days, different modules of week 3 are quite clear, I find, quite self-explanatory. So I'm not going to go into them too much right now. You can read it up and do the work. I just would like to say one thing. And this is, there is a day in week 3, I think it's day 17. And it's called, What Do You Stand On? And this is really, really, really important. So look at that, read through it and implement it. Because this is about the core beliefs you are holding. And these core beliefs, you can decide on what you want those to be, and you can bring them in. And in week 17, I explain how you do this. And once you have managed to do that, now once they are in place, your life is gonna change as if by magic, because your subconscious guides you, and it brings things into your life according to what you believe. And if you have a specific set of core beliefs in place, your life is going to become so beautiful, so effortlessly. So please do this week 17, work on this. It is so worth it to do this work. Good. All right, so I'm not gonna rehash week 3's content now, and I thought we can do something else instead, and we can workshop a bit on this live call, because like I said earlier, in the answering the question around beliefs, you've got to make a decision. You've got to decide who you are and what you stand for. And often in our day-to-day lives, we do not really make decisions. Now you take some action, and this action leads to another action and another and another, and then you are kind of entangled in your life, and you are living the same life every day, and you realize, I'm not actually sure how I got here. Now one thing led to the next, and now I'm here, and now everybody is used to me being this way and behaving this way, and I'm used to it. But it wasn't a clear decision I took. It was more kind of a default thing. I ended up here by accident. No such thing as that, but this is what it can look like. And it's very good to, from time to time, really stop and look at what are you actually giving your life for. And I know when I say that, that can sound rather dramatic, but you have a specific time in this body, on this planet, and this time is a non-renewable resource. So once you have run out of time, then that's it, you die. And so what you spend your time on is what you give your life for. And we often are not aware of this, but it really is. It's your most precious energy, and your most precious thing you have to give is your time, is your attention. So what do you spend your time on? And if you do deliberately spend your time on things that truly matter to you, you will have a much more beautiful and fulfilling life. Of course, makes sense. But for you to be able to do this, it's really important that you know what actually matters to you. And I would like you to do that now on the live stream, to answer this question: what truly matters to me? Do it in writing. You can type it in the comments, or you can type it on the computer. You can write it in your journal, doesn't matter. I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to shut up just now. But before I do that, I just want to give you an example of what I actually mean. So for me, I would answer that question of what matters most to me. The thing that matters most to me, first of all, is the relationship I have with my daughter. Then it's my work. It's connecting to soul. It's bringing the message through. It's doing what I came here to do every day. Then it's the relationships I have with my partner, with my friends, with my family. It's my health, the health of my physical body, and the way I eat, my fitness. It's also learning from people I admire, so kind of getting mentors, taking courses, reading from stuff from somebody who is further along on the path, or who can do something I can't yet, just being inspired. Then it's being in nature matters to me a lot. Having a clear and clean and beautiful place to live matters. Of course, spirituality, but this is what I do through my work. That is the soul connection, daily connecting, aligning to who I truly am. And then what also matters to me is adventure, going, traveling, exploring, finding new things. I probably forgot some things that mattered, but that was just to give you an idea what I mean by this question. So now get ready. I'm going to shut up. I'll give you like a minute or two and start writing down what matters most to you. All right. I hope this was enough time. If not, just finish it after the live stream. Okay, so now that you know what matters and you have it down here in writing, the next step, of course, is to actually make time for this and to prioritize this. And if you look at it, if you every single day in these areas that you now say matter to you, if every single day you kind of improve only 0.1%, let's make it a really simple number, a really small, non-dangerous sounding number. So you improve just a tiny, tiny little bit. And by improve, I mean paying attention to it, being present, valuing it, that area that you say that matters. If you do that every day, your life's going to change. In a month it will look so different, and in 6 months you would not recognize it anymore. And of course, in the beginning, with these tiny changes, in the beginning there won't be a big kind of wow thing. It will be gradually, but I always imagine it a bit like an avalanche. It starts with a tiny ball of snow, or a tiny piece of snow that starts sliding downhill, and then it gathers more snow, it gathers momentum, it becomes bigger, and then it has the power to overroll whole villages. So you have to gather momentum in doing this, and it's gotta be kind of downhill. And I do think downhill is everything that is aligned with who you truly are, that is aligned with your soul, and that is that brings you back to where you came, to who you are at the core, to who you are when you are truly authentic. All of this is downhill. All of this will help you gather momentum. Okay, so and just to again give you an example, now if you say it's important for you to have a good relationship with somebody, then give the time to be able to build that and be present when you are with this person and really listen and open up and so on. I mean, you all know how to improve things in different areas, and if you don't, you can Google it. All right. But then this, of course, means is that you have to say no to other things. And this is because of that entanglement we tend to get into. That's not always the easiest thing to do, and you might encounter resistance from people around you that like you to say yes to them instead of saying yes to yourself. So this is the next question I would like you to answer here. What do you have to say no to? Or maybe what are you saying no to from now on? It's a better way to formulate this. And let me just give you an example again, how that might look like. Huh? For me, for example, I have a friend, she's also an entrepreneur, and I love her dearly, and I love spending time with her. And we used to do these work meets. And we either would meet in a coffee shop, or I would go to her house often in the morning, and we were planning on working together, each working on her own stuff, but we're doing it together. And I thought it's a great idea in the beginning, and I got there, and I opened my laptop and I wanted to get started, and she wanted to talk. And so we talked, and then we had breakfast, and we talked some more, and I tried to work in between. And I didn't really get anything done. And the reason for that is that she's an evening person, and she kind of needs time in the morning to get going and to get into her flow, and she's a bit not quite awake yet, and she then wakes up towards the afternoon, and then she gets going and she gets focused and she does her work. And for me, I'm a morning person, and these first hours in the day are my most powerful time. And this is the time where I can focus, I can concentrate, I can get things done. And then towards the afternoon, I get really tired and kind of exhausted. I can't focus anymore. And this is then when I do exercise. But I like to get my important work done first thing in the morning. And so once I realized that, I also realized that it is not good for me to keep on doing these work meetings, and I stopped them. And I, of course, still meet her. No, she's a good friend. I love spending time with her, but I do it not with the kind of expectation that I go there to get work done. I now often go there on Fridays when I've done my work for the week, when I feel kind of fulfilled, I feel happy with what I have done. And then I go there and I enjoy spending time with her, or we meet in the evening or something. But this was a change I had to make. This was something I had to say no to do what matters most for me. And another thing is I used to, in the morning also, while my daughter was getting ready for school, I used to sit in the kitchen and have my coffee, first cup of coffee, and scroll through Instagram. And it was very enjoyable, and it was an easy way to start the day. But I also realized that I'm squandering the time where I'm the most awake. I'm kind of wasting it on taking in other people's stuff instead of doing my own thing. So because of this, I also stopped that. And now first thing in the morning, I write, I bring the message through, and I scroll through Instagram in the evening when I'm tired anyway, and I don't get anything productive done anymore. I don't want to anymore. And then I can do things like that. Then they're fun and they're relaxing, but I do not start my day off with other people's opinions in my head, but I start my day off now with connecting to my higher self and bringing that through instead. All right, so now it's your turn. Again, I give you some time and just write down, what do you know that you have to say no to? Okay. All right. And again, like with the previous question, if you're not finished, please continue straight after this live stream while it's still fresh. Write down what do you know that you have to say no to, and then actually do it, no? Implement it. Say no to these things and say yes to what matters. Okay. There is another thing I would like to do with you now, because this is a question I get so often from so many people, and even people who seem kind of well established and who have their business up and running and so on. They still often ask me this question, and this question is, I'm not sure exactly what my purpose is. I don't know exactly what I'm here to do. And this question is really easily answered, and it's this answer has two parts, so there are two questions I would still like to ask you. And the first one is more on a practical level. So the first question is, what did I always know that I wanted to do? And for me, this was writing. From a very, very young age, I knew I wanted to be a writer. I had that kind of incredible idea of what a writer's life would look like. Now you can do things totally on your own terms. You can write, you can create something, and then once you're done, you can go and you can have fun with friends or go walk or whatever. No? But you've done your work, and I always thought that is such a perfect lifestyle for me, and I would love to do this. So from a very, very, very small age, I was maybe 4 or 5 when that entered my head for the first time, and I was also totally obsessed with books and always reading, and I knew this is what I want to do. And then I got sidetracked from this quite a bit, and now I'm back on track with that. So question number one, now on a practical level, is there something you always knew you wanted to do? And this can also be things like being a mother, or growing your own food, or traveling. Now, don't make it something that you have to attach to earning an income or something like this. It's really about your purpose. It's about what did you come to this planet in this lifetime to bring through, to give, to live out. All right. Okay, I'm gonna quickly shut up again. Not so long this time. I'm always worried that when I stop talking, that Facebook is gonna cut the live stream off, which hasn't happened so far. Okay, but what did you always know you wanted to do? All right. And by the way, if you now are sitting there and you're telling yourself, I don't know what that is, I don't know what I always wanted to do, there's nothing I always wanted to do, then just stop it right there and just say, okay, if I knew, what would it be? And you answer from that place. You answer from the assumption that you do know, even if it's maybe not consciously present, but just allow yourself to write whatever comes up now. And again, do it after the live stream if nothing came so far. Really connect to soul, connect to your higher self, and answer from that place. All right. And then the last question I have for you for today is something that is incredibly powerful to bring out your true message and what really matters to you, and what do you really stand for at the core. And I can't remember where I got this question from. It's not mine. I read it somewhere once, or I did it somewhere. It was many years ago, which is why I can't remember. But I've used it often since because it is so effective. And this question is, I would like you to imagine that you are in a TV studio and you are live and millions of people are watching, and you know you have 5 minutes left to live. What are you saying? What do you want to give to humanity? What do you want to tell people life is all about? What's your message? And to again give you an example, for me, what I would say is, first of all, you are here for a reason. You are unique. You have to bring out this uniqueness, and you have all you ever needed to be able to do this within you right now already. You are a powerful creator, and you shape the world. You are the one who makes things happen. And if you tap into this inner power, you can live any life you want to live. You just have to be authentic. You have to be connected to soul, to your higher self, to who you truly are, and then you bring that through and you change the world with that. Okay, and I wasn't very elegantly put, but this is the gist of it. And every time I answer this, it's a similar thing. I use different words, but it's around the similar themes, around everybody is who he or she is for a reason. You've got all you ever needed to live your life the way you want to live it. Make it happen. All right. So now your turn. You're live here now. Millions of people listening. You have 5 minutes left to live. Go. Okay. So, and now all you have to do is that you take the answer you gave to the first question, to the what I always knew I wanted to do, and you use that to bring your message through. So you basically use it to bring out what you answered in the second question. And this is it. This is what you are meant to be doing in this life. And again, doesn't matter what that is. Doesn't have to be anything you can make a business out of. No, that's totally independent from this. No? It can be that what you always wanted to be is a mother, and what your message is that love conquers all, just to drag something out of thin air. No? And then you teach this to your children, and this is why you are here. So really, it can be anything, can be any combination. It's your thing, you are unique. Yay. And live it out, live your thing. All right, that let's just see if there were any questions coming in the meantime. Doesn't look like it. All right, so this was it from me for today. Enjoy going through week 3. As always, if you get stuck, if something comes up you don't understand, if you have a comment or a question or anything, either email me or tag me here in the Facebook group and I will get back to you. And otherwise, I will see you again here next Thursday, same time, same place for our week 4 live stream. All right, have a beautiful day and a beautiful week, and I see you again soon. Bye.